Here at the RMU Island Sports Center as the Colonials prepare to start Atlantic hockey play this weekend against Army, a pair on Friday and Saturday at 7:05 p.m. I'm Matt Geico alongside head coach Derek Schooley. And coach, before we look forward, let's look back to the weekend against nationally ranked Bowling Green. Two very different games, a 3-2 win here. I know you were happy about a lot of stuff, but then out at Bowling Green, a 6-0 loss. So how do you balance that and try to take one overarching theme forward into the next week?
Well, I think it's one of those things where you got to just forget about it and realize that it was because we had a young team. Our first day was really good at home, and then game on the road was not so good. And they were two completely opposite games. Give credit to Bowling Green, though. Bowling Green is number 17 in the nation now for a reason. They played hard. They came out and they wanted to protect their home ice on in their home opener. So they did a lot of very good things, and that we did on Friday. They did the same thing at home, and there you get a split. And you know what? The only thing I'm disappointed is we didn't compete as hard as we did on Friday night, and we just need to be better on back-to-back nights.
Do you believe in the measuring stick concept early in the season? Because your team, Bowling Green, Army, every team is still figuring out what it is at this point of the season.
Well, I mean, we got to figure out what your lines are. You got to figure out what works. You got to figure out what is working well for you, what's not working well for you. So measuring stick, I mean, other than it's nice to say we beat the 20th team in the nation, it's a good hockey team. And we were a good hockey team that night. And I don't think that's really a measuring stick as much as it is, hey, we've got some things we need to work on, our consistency, and we need to make sure that we're better for 120 minutes, not just 60.
You hear it all the time. Army, they compete hard. You're not going to out-compete Army. You can try to match it, though. Is that the talking point with your team this week, especially for the guys who have not played a service academy in the past?
Well, you know they're going to play hard. It's just, you know what, we got to play harder. And if we have the effort we had Friday, we're a tough hockey team to beat. Where our skill takes over, we got speed. But Sunday we just stood around and watched. So I liked the one team, I didn't like the other team. And now, like I said, we got to get some consistency. But you got to know that it's going to be hard games. They've got a lot of skill. They've got some young goaltenders. They've got two really dynamic blue liners, and Wilkinson and McAfee. And then up front, you got Wilson and Franco and guys that have been around and played a lot of hockey for them. So you got to just make sure that you're ready, and you got to be ready to play. It's our home opener within conference, and you want to get some points right out of the gate.
Last thing for you, practice finished up with a very interesting skills session. I know you try to keep skills in your practice each and every week. But early in the season, is there a temptation sometimes just focus so much on systems if you're a player or if you're a coach?
Well, there is, and I think one of the things that we're having, I wouldn't say trouble scoring, but we've only scored 3 goals in our first game and 4 goals in our exhibition game. So we want to do some stuff working on some skill development, some stuff with habits. Also added a battle drill in it for compete level, but we did some shooting, we did some hand stuff, we did some defenseman shooting. So we did a little bit of everything, and we wanted to take the last 15 minutes and make our guys feel good about the weekend and scoring some goals. Hopefully our goalies can put it behind us because they took so many shots, but you got to develop skills. And one thing that it looks like an ADM, a USA Hockey ADM practice, and with that, it kind of is. And we're never too old to do small games. We're never too old to do skill stations. And hopefully young coaches can learn from that as well and do the same thing with our youth, because the more they train them, the less I got to train them.
So the Colonials put those skills to use. Start of a 6-game homestand here. I mentioned Friday and Saturday. Atlantic hockey play opens. So, yeah, the stakes raise right off the bat here at the start of the year. Keep it to rmucolonials.com for all further information and for coverage of the 2 games this weekend.